Hello, Naomi. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good. I want to thank you for agreeing to do this with me and coming on to tell your story. And yeah, I'm going to go through. There's a couple people in the chat. There's Lynn said, "Hi, Cindy. Hi, Naomi, and happy birthday." Yes, today is Naomi's birthday. And I feel blessed that she's sharing it with us. Brenda Foley, good evening. Stacy, easy peasy keto. My first time being on time for you. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I told Naomi backstage once more people get in the chat. Brenda said happy birthday. Then
Thank
she'll
you.
start telling her story. Lisa, hey, I made it. And Lisa Ortega, I found out your birthday was this past Monday. So happy birthday late. Good evening, ladies. Happy birthday, Naomi.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Evelyn. Hello, friends. And Tete telling you happy birthday. And Sean, good evening, all. And happy birthday, Naomi. We're just bringing it all. I got to say, real quick, and then it's all going to be Naomi's floor. Those of you that know who Debbie Savings is in the chats, in the comments, she lost her father to cancer a couple days ago. So keep her in your prayers. Nan, hello. She's saying happy birthday. So, yeah. So, Naomi, how long have you been keto, ketovore, carnivore, whatever realm that you are going?
First started it in keto back in 2017. It was about just after my mom had passed away after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah. And how, when you started, you were what weight wise? And
I
where are you at
was
now?
let's see when I weighed myself right before Mother's Day. It According to the scale, I was roughly about 210 pounds was what showed on the scale. I
Right.
mean, it was like I technically started a little bit off and on, so it may have been a little bit more than that when I very first started,
Right.
which was right around like the Easter weekend,
Right.
just right after my mom passed away.
That had to be tough to get started on something new, going
Yeah,
through that trauma. It's hard. It's got to be
it
hard.
is. I mean, it was a very long, drawn out process with her.
Mhm.
She was always one who she had seemed to be into whatever was healthy at that time, like such as like we've had anything that was basically grown in the garden, and
Mhm.
anything that had the fat on it, she would be trimming it off. She'd be taking skin from the chicken that she cooked. And when it came to breakfast cereals, I was never allowed any of the kids' cereals. I
Right.
always had like either like the Raisin Bran, the shredded wheat,
Right.
or cornflakes.
Things that we were led to believe were healthier than the alternative.
When
So
in
yeah,
fact, I think now they're all just the same.
they it's hard to find a very low carb cereal unless you get
Yes,
like Magic Spoon or something like that. Or
and
but the
that stuff's
normal
not
everyday
cheap.
cereals are hard. It's hard to find.
And they're not cheap. They're like $8 at Walmart.
They're definitely not cheap. You are so right. So weight wise, where are you at now
Uh, when I
that you
last
know of?
weighed was, I think I was course, I went down into the 160s right in about the Orlando summit, but I have went back up some to about I think 173.
That's been a common theme. There's been a lot of people that have gotten down, and I'm one of them, and put some weight back on. And
Yeah,
there's something in the water in this country.
I think it's like I'd restricted how much I ate right, of course, right before and then right in the trip. Right in the trip, it was like hard to get foods that I need to eat, and then while I was there at the hotel, just get what I can and eat
Yeah,
for lunch and stuff. And then I pretty much had like keto chow at the Airbnb, and I did have an omelet cooked for me. The host had
that's
cooked me,
nice.
yeah, and
Lynn
they
says,
got
sorry to hear that. Thoughts and prayers for Debbie. Just want to go through these real quick. Evelyn saying hi to everybody. And Karen from Low Carb Spin is here saying hello. And Lisa said,
thank
oh,
you.
pretty kitty.
This is Iggy.
Iggy. Interesting.
Yeah, Iggy.
So, as we all know, as we get to losing the weight, and just like anybody else, when you first start a diet, even though this is not a diet, it's a way of life, the goal is to lose weight. And
Pretty
then we
much.
discover, right, then we discover the health benefits that are coming along as you go. So, what were those benefits for you?
Pretty much the preservation of brain health is one of the main objectives I got into this way of eating, because my grandma had a cousin that mom had told me she ate everything with bacon fats, whether if it was biscuits or anything like instead of butter, she ate everything with bacon fat. She lived to be either 105 or 107 years old, give or take.
That's
Mom
awesome.
had sworn it was 107. My aunt told me it was 105.
Either way, that's a milestone,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And she did it the right way, eating what we're supposed to be eating.
And then pretty much for her time, she pretty much ate what she could or for what was available at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Brenda Foley has a question for you. Where are you from and how tall are you?
I am from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and I am 5'9".
So you're tall.
Yes.
James said, hello, all, and prayers. Thank you so much. Hello, James. Hello, Evelyn. So, mainly brain health. What else have you noticed? I mean, that's important, especially with your mom having Alzheimer's. My father-in-law has it. It's horrifying to watch. So I get it totally. Other than that, were there any other health benefits that you've seen?
Probably maybe more energy throughout the day, and then also give or take help get through like a cold or an illness quickly, depending on what the illness is.
Right. So were you on or are you on any medications?
No.
So you never were? That's great.
Never have been. I think I got on this before getting the real chance of like getting on any of the real medications, such as the blood pressure meds and
Right.
all the traditional stuff.
Oh, believe me, I was on them since I was a teenager until just a few years ago.
I think my brother's been on some blood pressure meds way back there, but then he's been on a diet and gotten some weight off a few years ago, but then I don't know if he's still on any blood pressure meds or if he's still got some of the weight off or if he's gained it back on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
James says, can't believe next week is KPL. Can't wait to see everyone. Ditto, James. Unfortunately, Naomi is not going. So we get to
Yeah.
spend her birthday with her today.
Yeah, I had budget for one trip this year. And then don't know what I might have in store for next year.
Mm-hmm. Evelyn has a question. How did we meet?
Live with Wendy and Harry was literally the first time I ever saw you when I saw your live.
Right. We haven't actually met in person like I have with most all of you in the chat. So yeah, just seeing each other in the chats. She's been a supporter of mine from the beginning. And yeah, it's been great. Good evening, everyone. See you soon at KPL. Hello, Ken. He said, I turned 55 this past Monday. You're still a child.
I feel young.
How old are you today, Naomi?
51.
See, you're still a kid too. I'm just, wow.
I feel younger when I like started my 50s than I did when I started my 40s.
Yes, because you got healthier. That's I mean, I am 66. I feel better than I did in my 40s. You know, overall, it's like, it's great. Rick is saying happy birthday to Lisa. James is laughing. Karen said happy birthday. So you have decided to spend your birthday, and we worked around dates. And she said, Naomi said to me, well, October 4th is my birthday. Let's just do it. And I'm like, okay, I feel absolutely honored that you're going to spend your birthday with us. And that's awesome.
That's about how I worked my vacation. Any other time it'd be a real pain. Like, of course, to get the time off from work, but then also try work out. Okay, do I want to get paid for that day, or do I just go with it without?
It's kind of hard to not get paid for one day of work.
Yes.
That's a tough one these days, especially. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Brenda. Hi, Evelyn. Naomi, what benefits of keto surprised you the most?
It's like there's be like so many I could think of. It's difficult to name just one.
Oh well, spit them all out.
When I went hiking a couple of weeks ago, it was like first time I'd been on a hike for a minute. I noticed I had a bit more stamina when I was like doing the hike, and I was like going up some pretty steep trails. I mean, I was sore a few days afterwards, but then when I was doing during the actual hike, I still had stamina, which that surprised me.
Yep. I get that. So what else? What else is there? Because I know there's more. Everybody. Seriously. There's a whole list of stuff.
Let's see. It's
so you got more energy. You felt great climbing. Did you ever have any knee pain that is maybe gone now, or arthritic pain anywhere that might be gone?
I don't have any issues with plantar fasciitis. Because
before you used to.
Yeah, before when I was at my heaviest, I had the issue big time.
See, that's big.
And the only way to actually get over it, you pretty much have to take weight off. to
Yep.
get over that condition.
Yep. Lynn says, "You don't look 51, Naomi. We all look like youngsters thanks to the way we now eat."
Thank you.
Kara says, "You got that right." And Evelyn's asking, "Do you take any electrolytes or supplements?"
Right now, I've been on the electrolytes. I've been doing the salty from Keto Chow, or I've also done some electrolytes that are from NutriCost that you get from Amazon. And then when I do my Keto Chow, I mix it with collagen on every one of the creamings or the shakes that I've done.
Yeah, I do that also. Brenda wants to know skin, hair. Have you noticed any differences at all in any which way?
Back back when I was doing the perfect keto collagen back years ago, I noticed the wrinkles on my face were reducing. And then my hair, I think it grows faster when I'm on the collagen.
That's good. James said, "My friend told me that I look dapper today. I'll take that." Well, yeah, you should, James. So if so, does anyone else? I know you said you have a brother. Does anyone else in your family do keto or ketovore, carnivore? Or,
I'm pretty much the only person in family who's doing anything keto, carnivore.
yep, I get that. When as you all know, when I started, I was the only one in the house of 7 people and doing all the cooking. Brenda wants to
Yeah.
know what's your favorite salty flavor.
Right now I'm doing the booyah berry.
I like that one. You look like a teenager, Karen
Thank
says.
you.
Yes. It's it's just wild. There's so many different things that happen that we don't even realize as it's going through until you really think about it and like what, you know, something it's like why I had the blood pressure medicine that I got off of. I had this, I had this. And I'm not everybody was as bad as I was. So yes. Brenda Foley said yum to that flavor. Sean said, who was the one that turned you on to keto?
It it's not anybody in particular. It was it was like, I mean, just a Sunday just after my mom passed away. It was Easter. I was getting ready for Easter. I think it was like a sunrise service, and I tried on one of my tops I normally wear and noticed it was getting a bit tight, and so I decided, okay, it's time for me to do something. And
Right.
I have had done the low carb lifestyle off and on before. I did sort of an Atkins back about 2003, 2004, and got down literally at my lightest weight at 160,
Mhm.
and was there at that weight for a time, and well, I'd ended up like changing jobs, changing towns, had gotten into an engagement that where it didn't work out, and I was basically got to where I was eating
Mhm.
all the wrong things. Like I pretty much had a staple of like ice cream, anything that was high sugar, high carb, and
You know, that happens to a lot of people. You know,
yes.
the different diets, the different things you try, and once you get off of it, all that weight you lost and then some comes back on. I
Then
went on that roller coaster forever.
and then I tried like just cutting calories, doing the exercise size videos that Denise Austin had for that time, had like the Leslie Sansone tapes, was like doing those, and had like gotten some of the weight back off, but not like what I did before.
Right. So when did you actually get back on keto? 2017 or where it's been consistent?
Let's see, I did do Atkins again in 2012, but then I noticed that I did not have any energy, but I didn't know about electrolytes and all that stuff back then. So I was like, okay, I gotta get off. Okay, getting off of that because I don't have the energy to function through my work.
Right.
And so what weight that I lost then, I'd like got that back on and then some. And
Yep. Like I said, it happens. I don't think there's
yes,
anybody in the chat that hasn't happened to. It's like you get on something, it works, you get off of it, and that's why when they talk about keto, it's a lifestyle. It's a whole life
yes,
change that you have to devote yourself to keep it going. Keep it easy, to keep it sustainable. Yes. So that it does work. What is your favorite food and do you like to cook?
right now been mainly doing chicken thighs cooked in a fry daddy that's full of bacon grease. And then I'll be cooking up bacon in the oven. That's been my
Yep.
main staples for right now.
Okay.
Of
No
course,
beef or
have, have had done like the ribs, slow cook them in the oven. I've done pork chops, the pork steaks.
mhm.
Just pretty much whatever gets my mood
Yeah.
sometimes.
That you have to. Whatever you feel like eating, that's it. Sean's asking, which YouTuber did you find first?
Goody Beats. Goody
And
Beats, he was the first
talks about
one
that.
I followed. Because when I first decided, well, I'll try this Atkins thing again, I was following this one guy's doing Atkins, but everything with him seemed too restrictive. He was still talking about like the meat had to be the palm size of your hand. And one time I I played one of the YouTube videos and he was jumping up and down like screaming pea sticks, pea sticks, pea sticks. I had to turn him off.
Jeez.
And so I fell into Goody Beats when he did one of his keto on the budget and when he showed what to buy, what foods, and he pretty much was like saying, don't worry about it, don't worry about stumbling. I was like, all right, well, this is the lifestyle to follow.
Yep. Yep. And finding what works for you and like I said, keeping it simple and keeping it to where you can continue with that is the main thing. That's it. Ah people that get so I ain't even gonna go there. The dogmatic people, the negative comments that people make, it's just crazy. I heard somebody else talking about them today on their video. It's like it's nuts. But anyhow, so you started with Goody Beats. Who did you find after that?
Let's see. Another was Catherine Michelle, but she's not really doing the keto anymore. Everything she does now, she's got chickens she's raising, so everything's about her chickens. Pretty much there's a lot of people I'd followed back then that are either not doing keto or they're doing something else entirely. I have had like looked into carnivore and that was like steak and butter gal. I'd like keyed in looking up like, okay, what can I find with keto board? That was when Loving It on Keto
Yeah.
came about, Terry and Wendy, when I saw first video, it said good morning from Phoenix. I was like, okay, I have to go make a trip over there to meet them. Mainly because my grandmother used to live in Phoenix and I was born in Arizona, and felt like, okay, that's finally an excuse for me to make another trip to Arizona.
Did you get to meet them?
Yes, I met them last year.
They they are. I met them at KetoCon for the first year,
Yeah,
and then we saw them again at Hack Your Health. They're great people. Goody
yeah,
Beats was one of the first people I found on YouTube back in 2018. There just weren't so many keto channels back then. I thought he
right.
was pretty amazing. Yep.
And
Dustin talks about him a lot. So
I think he's like trying to go into like more high protein, and like some keto, more protein, and then getting his kids into eating more of the meats and
mhm.
what and whatever foods he makes for them.
Right. Right. It's when you're in a household where you're the only one, it can be difficult.
Yes,
It I found it easy for me, but not everybody does. It it gets tough sometimes.
it is, and it's tough when you're like eating out with a group and they're not keto or low carb, and then have to go browse through the menu, see, okay, what can I eat, what can I order, how can I order it.
Yeah.
In
That's
some
like
cases still trying to work out through like, okay, how can I order this?
yep. Right. Any burgers, just no bun. I mean, that's
Yeah,
pretty easy. Um, we if we go to a barbecue place, I get the dry rub pork, pulled pork, smoked turkey. Today we went there and I decided I wanted something different, and I got a steak burger with cheddar cheese on it and a side salad, which I don't eat very many vegetables. And their side salad is huge. And I'm like,
yeah.
the meat was good. There wasn't enough of it. There wasn't enough of it. There was a ton of salad on this plate, but there wasn't enough meat. But
I had
you'll
a
live and
banana
learn.
had a banana keto chow creamy with a pina colada flavored collagen mixed in with it.
How was
And
that?
it's pretty good. And then I
Yeah.
went about making the butter bites with the banana keto chow and the unsalted butter.
Yeah. Sean, that's he got me started on that. I made chocolate and I haven't eaten them all yet.
Yeah.
Or they all want to go to a place that doesn't have any options for you, like Chinese. Now, beef and broccoli, let's get real. You can have beef, you can have broccoli. It's just this, but I get it. It's hard. We haven't
Yeah.
been to a Chinese place in 4 years. We haven't been to a Mexican restaurant in 4 years. And, and we like it all, but it doesn't do Brian's blood sugars any favors. So, no, it's not worth it for us. But yeah, my friend wanted margarita, so I relented and had fajitas. Very good. Without the
Yeah.
tortilla or with?
I've done the fajitas without the tortillas. I've told them leave out the beans and the rice and do the extra pico, guacamole, and sour cream.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's options there, especially Mexican. Lynn says, I almost always just order burgers no matter where I'm eating. I'm afraid of the sauces, etc., and it's not worth it to me to mess up what I try hard to maintain in my food choices. And I'm going to tell you, I met Lynn one time. She was at an indie meetup. She is a beautiful lady and so nice. Yes. And she doesn't go anywhere anymore. You got to come back out, Miss Lynn. But yeah, it's um, it's definitely a whole different world.
Iggy.
She's got to get some cats. Either let them in or let them out. But she will be back. So, anyone else in the chat have any questions for Naomi? It's true story, Lynn. True story. Lynn said, "Stop, I'm blushing, but thanks." But it's true. Anyhow, so keto has been good for you. And what is your typical day of eating like? Do you eat one or two meals, three meals?
Let's
I
see,
know you said chicken
roughly,
thighs.
roughly about 2 meals. A lot of times 3 meals. Like I'll do 2 meals here at home, and then when I'm at work, I might do a meal at work if I'm hungry or not.
Yep.
Of course, it might be chicken critters that are grilled, not fried, and made with a salad. Or while I'm at work on Saturdays it might be the 10-ounce ribeye, and I might have a salad with it. Basically, depending on what my mood is at work.
Absolutely. And at home.
Yeah.
Evelyn called you the cat wrangler. But yeah, it's there have been times like when I did the egg fast. Have you ever done that? Just an egg
Now,
fast.
I've done
You,
bacon fast, but
that
but
would be
egg
interesting.
fast, I don't know if I could be able to handle doing an egg fast.
Well, I never got tired of them. And then I went right from that to doing keto chow for 7 days.
Yeah,
I didn't tire of that either. However, no meat for 2 weeks. It was like, okay, that was crazy
that's
because
yeah.
I should have split it up, but that was that was nuts. This is Steph. Hello, I'm trying to figure out Naomi's accent. Where did she grow up? She just came
Actually,
in.
my accent. People in my area remark about how different, even where I am over here. So I mean, truth to give you, I have no idea. I don't know how or why I developed it.
She was born in Phoenix and she lives in Arkansas. She wasn't here when you said that before.
And
She lives in
actually, I was
Arkansas.
in Flagstaff.
There you go. Arizona. Regardless, it's Arizona. Sean, what's the biggest reason it keeps you on track for keto? A lot of people say you need to find your why. What's your biggest why?
It's like basically I want to be able to keep my brain health and my overall health. I want to be when I'm in my 70s still able to do what I do now, and maybe
Yeah,
even still run to this place, that place, even when I'm in my 70s or 80s. I
yeah.
mean, I don't want
That's
to
it.
be like my mom and be down to where I can't, to where I don't know where I am, don't know who anybody is, and then not be able to get around.
Yeah, that's hard. Like Lynn, I sure don't want to mess up and go back to where I came from. Nothing tastes as good as healthy feels for me. I'm healthier at 70 than any other time in my life. Healthy blessings. Exactly, Stacy.
Yeah.
Do you exercise or do you get your steps in at work? Karen's
Most
asking.
most of my steps have been at work, and when I'm at work, I'm on my feet literally all day or all night long.
What do you do for work?
I work at Texas Roadhouse. I work back in the kitchen, either doing the salad or cooking ribs on the rib grill, or doing the baking of the bread.
That's got to be tough. If you like
Yeah,
bread, that's got to be tough.
It's like
Jason.
easier for me now.
Hmm. I would be like, ooh, because they have some good bread. Jason saying hello, everyone. Hi, Jason. Good evening. He's telling Sean. But yeah, it's I can't imagine. I've managed McDonald's for 4 years, years ago.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I still eat at McDonald's. I just don't get the bread.
I
And
It's like I lost weight working at McDonald's.
mhm, I believe it. Karen said that's an incredible amount of exercise, what you're doing for work. Yep. Well, that job definitely doesn't make keto easy. Well, that depends. The bread would not make it easy, but all the other food, their steaks are great. Saying hi. Just hi, 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 hi. So when you meet somebody, do you talk to them about keto?
It it depends. Depends on topic, basically everything. It just depends.
Yeah. How do your doctors feel? Do they know how you eat?
It's like last doctor I went to, I didn't really tell her about how I was eating. It's
Mhm.
like the doctors I don't really tell, maybe unless they ask.
All right. See, I am so upfront. I tell my doctors, I will talk to anybody, and if they don't like it, they
Yeah.
don't have to do it. But I tell them how many benefits there are. I used to be a big bored eater. I would be munching the entire time if I worked at a restaurant. Let me tell you, right out of high school, I worked at Frisch's Big Boy, and they have the best fish that's deep fried. I would go past the kitchen and grab a piece of that fish because it was so good. This was like right out of high school. And I mean, that fish is still good, but I don't eat it. It's very rare if I eat any of it. Jason's saying hi to Evelyn. So you've done keto now. You feel good. What's next for you?
Uh,
Have you done or are you doing any challenges? I know
not
you
really.
follow a lot of channels now.
Not really. Not really. Just doing what I feel is best for me on my own.
Mhm.
It's like I'm not really big in like trying to do protein sparing or doing the BBB and E. Although I have had tried the protein sparing, I'd be getting literally hungry because I feel like I need the fat. I
Yep.
can't just do just the protein. I mean
Right.
that's
Like Wendy
me,
and Harry doing the
right?
alternate day thing. I that was the thing for me with the egg fast. I could not get enough protein in, and I was eating 8 or 9 eggs a day. I could not. The protein was so lacking doing an egg fast. I don't know how people get it in. I
Yeah,
seriously don't. So if I do it again, it's going to be with the addition of either some Equip protein powder for a drink or keto chow, one of the two, to vamp up the protein. Because yeah, it was crazy. Because I kept track on a daily basis. Did my macros every day for both weeks, the egg fast and keto chow. Keto chow was easy to get the protein in,
yeah.
but whew, egg fast wasn't. So yeah, you said you did a bacon fast. Did you do it the way Wendy did with a pound and a half of bacon a day?
I just however much bacon I put in the pan. I don't measure or anything. Just
Mhm.
however much I feel like I need for that meal or for that day.
Stephanie said, Cindy, did you feel better doing keto chow more than eggs? I was satiated both ways. I mean, I would get full doing the egg fast as well as keto chow. I can't say I felt better on one than the other, but I just seeing the numbers, I knew I wasn't getting the protein in that I want to get in. So I can't, Karen says, I can't do PSMF either. I was starving, just like doing Weight Watchers. I'd rather fast.
Yeah.
Do you do any fasting?
Not much.
Yeah. What was the hardest thing for you to give up when you started?
See, I remembered when I first started, I'd be seeing like the new flavors of Bluebell being put out, and I'd be like, "How could you do this to me, Bluebell?"
Yeah. I can imagine. So do you eat, I know you mentioned Bluebell, and that's cheese, right?
Ice cream.
Oh, that okay. I'm thinking, what am I thinking about? The Baby Bell?
But you're thinking of Baby Bell.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well, so
I
I'm a big cheese eater.
yep. I think I had too much yesterday.
So
But
I mean, when I was a teenager, I get like the block of cheese and just be cutting it up and eating it. And when I first started on the lifestyle, it was like, hey, yeah, I can do that again.
yep. All the new things coming out definitely make it hard for sure. It can. Now I can't imagine ice cream other than keto chow and the creamy. I get it. Same way. I've tried Rebel um, before I did started with keto chow, and I tried it Halo Top. That's it. That's another one. They were
Yeah.
nasty. They were just gross. It's like
Yeah.
this wasn't good for me because I loved ice cream, and they just didn't do it. That was like, ugh, nope. So, but now there's keto chow in my life. Thank you, Chris and Miriam. I absolutely love it. When I did the fast, when I did the week of keto chow, I did waffles in the morning, a shake in the afternoon, and ice cream at night every day. Didn't get tired of it. There were times I was too full and I wouldn't do the ice cream at night or I wouldn't do the shake in the middle of the day. But overall, it was great. And they're expensive. You're right, Stephanie. Those keto ice creams, you know,
And
it's
then
like
there's not
everything.
really that much in a serving.
No, no, you can't sit down and eat a pint of it unless you want to eat 4 or 5 servings of ice cream. I used to get the Enlightened ice cream bars until Dr. Berry told me that wasn't keto. Well, darn. Well, Sean, there's no such thing as keto food. Keto is a state of ketosis. It's a state of whatever. I don't know that. But yeah, I I think the thing I miss the most are potato chips.
Me,
That's
it would
probably
be
my
corn
biggest
chips,
thing. What, hon?
corn chips, potato chips. When I've like tried eating them late, they've made my mouth sore.
Oh wow.
But
See,
then
I haven't
when
even had any. In fact, where did we go? They had someplace we went, they had potato chips out, and I think I grabbed 3 of them. 3 whole potato chips. That was it. And I thought, "Oh, now I wanted more," but I didn't go get it. I
So
never even bothered with
I
any.
say can't eat just one.
Oh, it was like, yeah. I told Brian, I'm just gonna eat one. And then it was 3, and then I stopped. That was it. Lynn says, I never even bothered with any of the low carb ice creams, just keto chow as a creamy. I can't imagine anything being better than that, and so many flavors. I love it. You know I do. How
I
many
have
cats do you have?
I have
5?
5.
Wow. You're the cat lady. Thanks, Cindy and Naomi. Got to go walk the fur babies. Can only listen. You have a good night, Karen, and I will see you in about a week. Yes, Cindy, I miss crunchy foods as much. Chips, crackers, all of it. Now, I used to at night. I don't know if you've done this, Naomi, before keto. I would sit there. Nighttime is my worst time.
Yeah.
Still worst. But I would sit there and I would get a paper plate and put saltine crackers on there till it was full and put butter on them and sit there and eat every one of them. To me, that was so good.
With me, it was cheddar cheese and saltine crackers.
Mhm. I really liked the butter. It was I love cheese too, but the butter was like
The
just
but
right.
yeah, the ones with the butter I liked, but I didn't do as much with me as like is either with the American cheese or the cheddar cheese and
Mhm.
crackers.
Yep, cheese and crackers is always good. Well,
Yeah.
was. Sean said there's an Italian place that makes homemade potato chips and covers them with mozzarella cheese. I avoid that place at all costs. Well, daggone it, Sean, you could bring me some. Just kidding. Just kidding. 5 cats. You're my people, Naomi, but I only have one. Lynn
It's like
says
I
that.
did have 4, and then I had the 2 kittens came in, and then now I had one go missing, and that's so I went from 4 to 6 to now 5.
Yep. We had when we were growing up, we had one cat and it was white. Her name was Fluffy. She had one blue eye and one green eye. She was beautiful.
Yeah,
She ran away, never saw her again.
yeah.
It was like she was really pretty. And yeah, I already told you I'm not a big cat person. But yeah.
And like
We,
I still miss my Sebastian. He was my world. I cried for 2 months when he
uh,
disappeared.
your your pets are your kids. It's
Yes.
it's hard. It's hard. We are like Stephanie says, I had 5 Yorkies, but now have no fur babies.
Oh,
Yep. We have just Max, and he's old and he's sick. He's got an enlarged heart, but Brian takes him out for a walk. He runs like he's nothing wrong with him. He's on medication for his heart, and he's crazy. And then he comes home and he's like, because he's just been out there like a fool running. But he's mostly blind. He's hard of hearing. It's just a lot. I had a completely white cat that was deaf. One green eye, one blue eye. Beautiful cat. Miss him. I get it. I mean, like I said, ours ran away. It wasn't deaf. It just wanted out the door. Our Lily is 15 years old. She still runs around like she's a puppy.
oh.
Yeah. It's like Max is 14. Yep. It's so hard not having a dog. I believe it, Stephanie. But I'll tell you, we've already talked about it. Max is a doll baby. Yeah. If we don't let him make an appearance, he will sit there and bark and carry it on while we're on the live streams. Gotta love those fur babies. We have talked about it. Once Max is gone, we're not getting any more because it's like it's confining when you want to go do something. It's expensive to board him,
That's true.
and
That's
it's
true.
really rough, especially with dogs. Cats are a little bit easier that way. But, we told him there's things that we want to do. And like with Keto Palooza, I'm going. Brian opted to stay home with Max. So he's not going. And the white cats, they contain genetics which are dispositioned for them and being 25% deaf if they have blue eyes and totally white. Interesting. Interesting. The problem is also we're getting older and don't want them to outlive us. My mom with this, my mom had a golden retriever that she had gotten from our sister who had developed an allergy to his dog hair. He was such a good boy. When my mom got sick, he was right by her bedside. He did not leave her side. He was right there all the time. She passed in 2002. My sister took the dog back in, and he was lost without my mom. He didn't last long after that. He was absolutely lost. So, yeah, it's they get so attached. It's like, shucks, I was looking forward to meeting Brian as well at KPL. Well,
Um,
Sean, I'm sorry. Go to the indie meetup in November. Just drive on across to Indy. He'll be there. We went to a Columbus meetup, and Jeff Foltz comes over to our table. I want to meet the guinea pig. It's like, there he is.
it's like
Like,
Brian's
not me. He just wanted to meet Brian. It was pretty
Brian's
funny.
popular.
He is. He's such a, and I got all choked up on our live stream Wednesday. He's such a good person. I hate that he goes through what he's going through. It doesn't phase him like it does me, but he is an amazing person. Jenny, you're going to be rooming with Jennifer Lucas, correct? No, I am not. Nan Catlin, if she's still here, she's going to be rooming with Jennifer Lucas. I am going to be rooming with my sister and my niece. Stephanie said, I've met the guinea pig. Yes, you have. Yes. No, my sister and I are going, and her daughter, Amy. So we have a room together for KPL. So, Naomi, what would you tell somebody that would come to you and question you about keto? What would you tell them as far as trying to convince them that it would be a good thing?
Well, for one, it's like the proper human diet, like Dr. Ken Berry be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's not really any other diet, and it's not a diet. It's a health optimizing lifestyle.
Right. It definitely is. Sean says, are you going to Columbus next March when Heath and Shelley come through? I don't know. We've had no plans to as of now. Steph says, I really like Brian. At least I did meet Mr. Guinea Pig previously. Who doesn't love Brian? The one time that Lynn came to anything, Brian was there, and he sat there and he talked her arm off, telling his story. And it's like, Naz says, I'm still here. Can't wait to meet everyone. Can't wait to meet Jennifer. Exactly. The biggest selling point is low inflammation. Yep. That and getting off of meds, and if you do, and just overall, like you said, the energy level is crazy. They being able to do things you never thought you could do,
And being able to regulate your blood pressure.
Yep. So all that would all come. I mean, I talked to so many people about it
and
today. Go ahead.
and reversing type 2 diabetes or even being pre-diabetic, which I think that's another issue that I may have had probably maybe while I was still in high school.
Mhm. That's one thing. They never checked my A1C. And as I think in my 20s into my 30s and so on, I was really close to about 300 pounds. And I don't think the doctors ever checked my A1C. If they did, nothing was ever talked about. When I
And
started keto, I told my there's Brian. Hi everyone, guinea pig is here.
hi, guinea pig.
But my doctor there in New Hampshire, when I started keto, I said, I need you to check my A1C because I have no idea what what it is. At that point, I had lost like 20 pounds. And it was like a week or two in. I know it was all water from just changing the way I was eating. And he says, hey, I got the results back and my A1C was 5.8. I was freaked out. My doctor looked at me. He said, I'm not worried about you because you're doing what you need to do. He said, I'm not worried. Just keep on. He was a good supporter. He was great. Evelyn saying hello to Brian and Sean saying hello. Look at Brian sneaking around. That's what he goes by all the time, Lynn. He was a big Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan. His email is Dale38S. Yep. That's how. I just answered your question before I even saw it. So yeah, it's today. I was telling Naomi backstage. I found out that one of the girls that bowls in ladies league with us was brought in for emergency surgery the other day, and she just got the results back. She has stage 4 lung cancer, along with colon cancer, and they found a mass between her rib cage and her chest. There was a lady coming around today saying we're going to get together a basket for her and like candy and stuff like that. I said, why would you want to give her sugar? Granted, it's advanced. It has hit so many organs. However, if there's any hope, I said, don't give her sugar because it's just going to make it worse. And she looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like, I'm not, this is crazy. I said, cancer feeds off of sugar. That's all there is to it. Earnhardt, yes, Dale Earnhardt Sr. Brian was absolutely devastated when he got killed. So much so he quit watching NASCAR. I feel so lucky that my doctor is now Tony Hampton. Yeah, I guess so. I am so jealous of that. Hello, Brian at Dale38S. Rick says, I'm good, just tired. We sat down earlier. We had been out most of the day. And I looked over. Brian was passed out on the couch, sitting straight up, just sound asleep. I couldn't even wake him. I'm like, I had to hit him, make sure he was still breathing. It was sad. It definitely was. So, anyhow, I think we're going to call it a night. It's been about an hour. Naomi, again, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I know it's out of a lot of people's comfort zones. And I really appreciate you coming on, telling us about you. And happy, happy birthday. I'm not going to sing because you wouldn't want that. You definitely wouldn't want that. But I hope you have a great evening. Hope you got something planned for tonight.
Nothing planned tonight, but I might tomorrow see what kind of trouble I can get myself into.
There you go. It's all good. It's all good. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much. And all my members listed here, thank you. I seriously appreciate everyone. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we are doing another live stream with Evelyn and Carl. So at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, have your tissues ready. That's all I'm going to say. Because Evelyn can. Whoo, they got a great story. But anyway, everybody have a good night. And I will see you all tomorrow night. And Naomi, again, thank you so much. And I'll see everybody later. Bye.
Bye.